The remaining buttons are repeat, reverse, reverse and repeat, our VCR-like animation preview controls, and the function curve editor button. But we will come back to these in just a moment. First, let's right-click our ARM object in the object tree to see the pop-up edit menu there. Most of these will look familiar. Edit will put you into a context edit mode for the object. There's repeat, reverse, reverse repeat, just like our buttons, a refresh, unglue, a checkbox whether the object is visible or not, and an expand and collapse option for that object only. This comes in very handy when you don't necessarily want to expand or collapse everything in the object tree. But I think it's time we see what a keyframe looks like. In the rotate track for our complete ARM object, we see these diamonds. By left-clicking on them and highlighting them, they turn white. These are the actual rotation keyframes for that object. We can left-click and drag to move the position of the keyframe to change its actual frame number, and we can left-click and drag the boxes on the end of the action bars to effectively stretch or compress the animation. Adjust the amount of time that it takes. We can also select multiple keyframes by clicking and dragging and lassoing the keyframes that we want to manipulate. In keeping with the TrueSpace 5 philosophy, there's also a right-click menu. Cut, copy and paste of individual keyframes, delete, insert a new keyframe, a properties panel, and a vertical grid. Let's enable the vertical grid for now. I kind of like having it on. And then let's go to look at the properties panel. It shows under KF or keyframe, it shows what keyframe we're on. It shows tension, continuity, and bias controls for each keyframe. Back in the object tree, we can click once more on an object and type in a new name for it. You can also right-click and hit rename. Also notice that when we select an object in the object tree, in the main TrueSpace window, that object will become selected. Before we go back to the remaining buttons in the toolbar, let's use the VCR play button to preview the animation that already exists on this object. Then we will continue on to examine the remaining buttons on the toolbar.